Hello brothers and sisters of the Imperium, and welcome back to another Morgan video. Today we are reviewing the chonkiest of the chonky boys. A model review of Acastus Knight Porphyrion, aka Porphy, aka, as I like to call him, Winston. Enjoy. So Acastus Knight Porphyrion, and from now on I'm going to refer to him purely as Porphy. So I don't have all day, and I'm sure you don't either. I'm going to give you a quick description of him. He is a Forge World model, available on forgeworld.co.uk. Make sure you're sitting down when you see how much he is, and if you do buy him, make sure to buy your missus a very expensive pair of shoes or jewellery, or take her out for a nice dinner. So, he is one of the most heavily armed and armoured of all the Knight chassis in service. The Acastus Knight Porphyrion rivals even the Scout Titans or Legio Titanicus in terms of size and power. Armed with weapons that can obliterate the most heavily armoured target, it truly is a force to be reckoned with. Taller than even the most towering Acastus Knights, and the Acastus Knight Porphyrion is a dominating presence on the battlefield. We'll do a quick model review in a second, so you can see his size comparison. The Knight's main weapons are a pair of twin-linked Magna las cannons, devastating weapons, an order of magnitude more powerful than even the Solex pattern heavy las cannon or the Mechanicum Tagmata. Where a Knight Paladin may carry a heavy stubber as a secondary weapon, the Porphyrion is armed with a pair of twin auto cannons, which are often replaced with las cannons, and if you can see there, King of Kit Bash here, I've put them both on. Rule of thumb, if you get given the actual guns, stick them all on. Magnetize if you can, but everything here is stuck together. So it's got las cannons and auto cannons on there. Its Iron Storm missile pod, which you can see up on top, elevated, has substantially larger payload with those found on more common Knights, though in battle zones where the danger from airborne assault is apparent, this system can be replaced with powerful Helios defense missiles. So what that means is when you get this from Forge World, you get the option of these 5 in a row, or you get the option in the 2x5x10, I believe. I've chosen for that just purely for rule of cool, it looks prettier. So this system can be replaced with Palos Heathford defense missiles, as we found. Rules for using the Acastus Knight Porphyrion in Horus Heresy games can be found in the Horus Heresy Book 7, blah 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 blah, or the Index Astra Militarum Imperial Armor Book, which is, as you probably know, there's a separate datasheet book for Forge World models. The Acastus Knight Porphyrion is a complete multi-part resin kit, includes several option secondary weapons, which are all stuck on here. So that is it in a nutshell, and isn't he a chonky boy? So what we're going to do now is a quick model review to just show, or model comparison review to show what a chonky boy Porphy really is. So let's bring him to a close, shall we, or a stop. Stop there, my dear boy. There we go. Let's have him angled like that. By the way, I'm not going to go too much into the painting, but any of you that have watched my videos before will know he is painted in the style of the Jade Fist, which are my Ultramarine successor chapter. So, on with the model comparison review. We're going to first start off with a cute little Imperial Guardsman. Again, done in the style of the Jade Fist. And you can see just how big he is. He barely even, the poor little guardsman. And funny little fun fact, actually, I have played Porphy twice now, and I've actually proxied him. Well, I play friendly games, but I have proxied him as a Knight Crusader. Yes, I know, the Knight Crusader, which I don't have. This is the only Knight that I own. It was on a whim. I saw him on Instagram. One of my friends on Instagram tagged me and said, wouldn't this be nice in Jade Fist colours? And one evening after a few beers, I woke up the next day and realised I had purchased this. Well, that's a lot of things happen like that, and it's a happy accident. So this is size comparison with an Imperial Guardsman, and the only time I've ever played him, which is twice, is with Imperial Guard, and it is absolutely hilarious seeing this chap on the battlefield, if you can imagine, with tons of Imperial Guard all around his feet, screening him, is just the most hilarious thing, and it's so cute. So that is an Imperial Guardsman. Next up, Primaris Marine. You know what? I'm going to put him just right next to the knee so you can see the comparison there. And the Primaris Marine, again done in the style of the Jade Fists, is there, and he almost just reaches the initial rivet on his kind of shin type plate there. Next comparison, I'm going to have to move these guys off, I'm afraid, chap. They can sit there. Is a Rhino. Again, the Rhino is dwarfed by it. If I just put it sideways like that, you can see that with the gun it reaches barely the knee. Move that there. Next up, pardon me, we have a standard size Redemptor Dreadnought, which is the chonkiest of the chonky dreadnoughts, even bigger than a Contemptor Dreadnought, a Leviathan Dreadnought, and look, you can see he barely even comes up to his, in fact he just comes up to his knee. Kind of looks a bit funny like that, him standing there, doesn't it? I might move him away, looks like he's mounting him. But yeah, as you can see here, he is a very big chonky boy, very big chonky boy. So that is a Nemesis, next up is a Nemesis Dread Knight. I think is the tallest model I owned before I met Porphy online, and you can just see there that he only barely comes up. If you're being generous, he barely comes up to the top kind of star rivet of his thigh pad. So he is a big boy, and he is extremely devastatingly handsome on the battlefield. Just for the sake of terrain, I'm just going to chuck in one of, a classic armored container there as well. You can see. Let me put that sideways for you. There you go. So that is size comparison. And I'll just do him in a little rotation. I'll chuck these guys on just for a little bit of bounce. There you go. I'm going to just start him spinning again for you. Other way, mate. There you go. You can just really see the size comparison there. Doesn't that look absolutely hilarious? So that's the size comparison. I'm just going to show you a few cool things about this model. Being Forge World, they do go extra on the attention to detail. And in here, there is a little hatch. I know, right? So cute. And I'm just going to go up and zoom in for you. I'm going to grab you here and look inside. And in there, sorry, let me get out the shadow. You can see is a knight pilot, should I say, a knight pilot. And you have to buy him separately, actually. But they have a little cockpit, which is all pre-molded in there. And what I've done is I have this glue, elephant glue, which is kind of like a resin, and it allows you to kind of move it up and down to put a hinge. It will snap eventually. I'll need to do it again. But you can see in there that there's a cool little knight pilot in his little thing. How cool is that? That is just, I just love it. If you're going to pay massive bank for a giant model like this, then you want those attention to detail. And what I might do is just give you, I'm going to give you a little bit, just give you a little bit more of the detail of the model as well. You can see on the front there, half of the Imperial Eagle is blown off. You have no idea how difficult this guy is to transport. And the Imperial Eagle on the front there actually snapped off and I lost it, so I made it look like some form of heavy weapon missile or las cannon had kind of penetrated through. Like I said earlier, when you have models like this, you have happy accidents. And as I mentioned again earlier, you can see here that he's got these two big, giant, oversized las cannons. And he also has the las cannon just there. there, and also the autocannon. And you're supposed to have one or the other if it's WYSIWYG. WYSIWYG, of course, is an acronym for what you see is what you get. But as I mentioned earlier, I have started playing a little bit competitively with the London Wargaming Guild. Big up, London Wargaming Guild crew! But mostly friendly. And, you know, I'm never going to get a chance to field this guy if I don't field him as something smaller, because he is an insane point cost. Absolute point cost. And I'm not sure that he's particularly competitive, but I just bought him because the rule are cool. I want him on my army, and I pay him friendly as a Knight Crusader. And that's it. That is the model review, the showcase. If you're interested in any questions or anything about it, then do ask below. I'm just going to move these guys out there for you. In terms of painting, I sprayed the whole model silver using Games Workshop spray paint, and then the front panels I sprayed white, and I covered in, of course, my standard Jade Fists green, and then basically just did the whole thing in Coelia green shade, and then just highlighted out to give this beautiful marble effect on here, this kind of ancient marble effect. And he can be fielded in 40k as well as, you know, it said Horus Heresy, of course. And I just love him. I just love him. He's just such a beautiful, beautiful model. And in terms of size, he is a very tall boy. I'm actually going to measure him for you now as well. So in terms of actual size, as you can see here, he is about 20 with the missile elevated there, because you can actually shut it down. I'll show you that in a sec. He is actually 27 centimeters high, so nearly 30 centimeters high. And yeah, he is a big boy. And you can actually shut this down like this. One thing I would say is, if you can see these little runners here, they're extremely brittle. The amount of times, even with an actual case that I've taken him to a game, they are very brittle, so do be careful of these bits here. That's all I wanted to show you guys. I just wanted to do a little quick rule of cool model review. I'm not going to do the data sheet. I believe Allspecs has got a data sheet for him. I just wanted to do a model review and just show him. I mean, I spent ages painting him. I played him twice, not as himself. And I will see you on the next video. So thank you for joining me today here with Morgan. Do like, comment down below. Anyone that follows me for a while knows I always, if you say anything interesting, I'll comment and, you know, big you up or whatever. And yeah, if you say anything insulting, I will block you immediately, because basically I run my channel like Horus would. All right, love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.